And welcome to another episode of Shelby's World Podcast. Queen, what's happening?
Man, nothing, chilling, blessed, favor, all that good stuff. But today is Wednesday.
That's
Y'all
right.
already know what time it is when it's Wednesday. Come on now, I keep telling y'all this over and over on Wednesday. Wednesday come, you already know what time it is.
That's right. You know what
It's
time it is.
SWP. SWP. Come on now, Shelby's World Podcast. Y'all better get with it. I know y'all seen them video clips out the other day with the music going, saying Shelby's World Podcast. Come
Y'all better
yeah,
get into it because you know one thing about it. We into it. You need to get into it. Let's do this thing so that we can have an incredible platform and
I'm
continue to
telling
produce
you.
shows and topics that we want to do for y'all. Tell them about it, Queen. What's going on?
It ain't nothing but I'm finna tell y'all our sponsors today. And
Okay.
you already know Shelby's Bistro is one of our main sponsors of Shelby's World Podcast. So make sure you check out Shelby's Bistro on IG for all your good catering needs for your weddings, your birthday parties. It's graduation season too. So hey, hit, hit up Shelby's Bistro. Our second sponsor today is J2 Couture.
That's right.
Beauty, makeup, hair, brows, all that stuff. Just check out J2 Couture on IG, Facebook, or at j2couture.com for all those beauty needs that you gonna need. Just check out, see what they got going on. And shout out to Freedom Train Radio, our team, our family. Like, man, look here. Salute to Pat and Joe. I love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And all our other podcast family members. Like, come on, man. Look, y'all, look, we everywhere.
We everywhere.
Literally, we everywhere, y'all. We are everywhere. And make sure you go follow us on IG and on YouTube and Freedom Train on IG and YouTube as well. And catch up on all the shows. All the shows. And you can find out the other podcast shows as well when you go to the Freedom Train Network. Thank you.
So as Queen said, you know, of course, we love to represent our Freedom Train family. So this month it is Women's History Month, Black Women in History Month for Freedom Train. So on Freedom Train's radio, the network, the actual radio podcast show, they'll be just sharing and discussing Black women in history for this whole month of May. So make sure you tune into that. And you'll hear about many Black women that are doing wonderful things out in our culture, in our cities, in areas where you may be familiar with. So just make sure you check us out, y'all. Just stay tuned. www.freedomtrainradio.com. Jump on, support as you would love, and then get back with us. We always looking
Mhm.
forward.
We
We
love
always looking
feedback.
forward to it.
We love the feedback. We really do. We
Yes.
take it all, the criticism, everything. See, we about improvement over here.
Correct. Correct. And
Just
we
don't be getting
you
too
know,
sloppy and silly with it and crazy with it now. Don't get too bent to the side now. Cause we can read too now. Like and not literally, I mean read.
Queen.
Just letting you know. But thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate y'all. Just know that we appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I just wanted to make sure you guys are familiar with the fact that we are continuing to have our we're continuing to sell tickets for our brunch, our
Yes.
Shelby's World Podcast brunch conversation. So make sure you guys grab your tickets. This is going to be an event you don't want to miss, and not just because it's us. Did he
You just
call me?
don't want to miss
I'm
it.
about
The
to slap this,
conversation.
huh?
The conversation that we're gonna have, like adult conversation, fun, all like, man, come on. If you watched our love segment, imagine what you're gonna get in person.
Correct.
With food and mimosas.
Correct.
And the food is delicious. Trust me. It's catered by Shelby's Bistro. So come on.
It's
It's
gonna be
gonna
a
be
good
good.
show. A good day. We got comedian Oliver Mitchell in the house. And I'm looking forward to his comedy. I've seen some of his comedy on his page, on his Facebook page, y'all. But I am looking forward to the in
I'm gonna have to
person.
check him out.
Yeah, and we're gonna have him on the show coming up before we actually do the
The brunch.
brunch, because we want to make sure y'all can meet and enjoy our people. We want y'all to understand who our people are. We bringing people to y'all for a reason. So
That part.
right,
It is a reason for the season. Like,
reason for the season, baby. It's a reason for the
check
season.
it out. Come on, y'all. Like, it's gonna be good. It
It's
is going to be good. So,
gonna-
Queen, what is our quote today?
so well, for one, we got let me go over here because I got a couple quotes. Our show today is based on cultural violence, but a lot of people feel like we that the black community is supposed to just fix things that have happened, that have been in the making for 400 plus years, and they think that we're just
Hmm.
supposed to, after 2 years or maybe 4 years of having a black president, we supposed to just be fixed. Um,
That's fun.
people think that. I'm really, I don't understand why, or why people have that type of opinion toward how things are, but people really believe that just because we're we're black, we've had so many changes that moved us in a more growing um direction, that all is well.
Yeah.
Life don't work that way. So I just want to remind people, just keep it G for one, and let people know that it. None of this is that way. We have to. It's a constant balance. You have to be able to accept the good with the bad, be able to improve upon things that we've grown in, but also be able to implement things that we need to have implemented to make us keep growing as a culture. We need to
Yeah.
focus on a lot of things that we don't want to talk about. So many things that going on in our culture we don't even want to discuss, because we really don't want to face the fact that this is a cultural situation that needs to be fixed. So it's so much, it's a lot. And I feel like we're making strides. Um we're making strides, but we can be doing so much more.
Yeah.
So our quote of the day, the one that I actually ended up going with was a quote from John Lewis. And it says, ours is not the struggle of one day, 1 week, or 1 year. Ours is not the struggle of one judicial appointment or presidential term. Ours is the struggle of a lifetime, or maybe even many lifetimes. And each one of us in every generation must do our part.
Hmm.
Very powerful. Um,
I don't
it's
even know what to say. Like, it's just like I just like wow. Wow.
it's that is very that yeah. I me personally, because we normally will go into some conversation and dialect about these, but me personally, I feel like that was so well spoken and so well broken
Hmm.
down. There's not really much you can even
It
say.
ain't.
It's not much you can even say in regards to that, because and if you look for something in that to try to find as a way to tear it up or make it something that it shouldn't be, or doing too much to try to say that this isn't true, because a lot of us in our culture, we don't like to face the fact that these things are happening in our
Yeah,
culture.
that's true.
So we just make it seem like because it's not affecting us personally, it doesn't exist.
Well, I don't live on that side of town, so it
Oh,
don't bother me.
exactly.
My kids don't go to that school, so it ain't. But it's still your culture. It's still your family. It's still your community. No matter if you don't stay over there, but you know somebody that stay over there, and you probably grew up over there yourself before you became. bougie, but like, come on, it's all of our problem.
Right. And people and that the sad part about it is people don't want to face that it's all of our problem. We got a lot to fix. And no, I'm not 40. Not but
I am.
not yet, But it I do think that we do need to worry more on what we can fix versus what we can complain about. And if people don't want to if people don't want to accept where we are, it's going to be
Yeah.
much harder to make a difference in where we go next. It
Mhm.
that's really just the truth about it. We can't
It
do a
is
whole
true.
lot if people aren't willing to accept that this is a black people problem. This is not just an issue that's happening in certain communities. This is a full fledged issue in the black
In
community,
our
and
community.
we got to stop. Thank you, E. And we got to stop looking for other things to negate it. So I'm going to read this quote of the day one more time, and of course I'm going to drop it on our site. Let me get my computer because I like to have two things going at one time when I'm
It's a
working. So
lot. It's a lot.
yeah. So y'all, we really we're in our culture. There's so much going on. So today we're gonna have conversation on that. But before we jump into the conversation that we have planned for you all today, I had some racial justice facts that I wanted to run through in preparation for today's show. I found some things a few weeks ago that I wanted to wanted to put on forefront for the show for today, but also more because if we want if we need to make the changes that we need to have made in our community have to start in our communities. um
Most definitely.
so we can't expect things to happen in our communities to be different or to be greater for us if we're not building that stuff. If we're not the ones that's behind the screens and writing the script, then it's not going to change for us. So my biggest concern is that we're still not the creators. We're still not the people in charge of our scripts. These
No.
facts will continue to prove that. And what we and the detail and breakdown of that. I'm going to give you guys a few of them. So, black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to experience a pregnancy related death than white women, even at similar levels of income and education.
Mm.
What you think
I
about that,
always,
Queen?
I always thought it was the opposite, to be honest with you.
Really?
I always thought it was. I thought
You
yes.
haven't
I
heard?
don't know why, but I don't know why, but I always did.
You hadn't heard any of the stats about how many that black women die at giving birth more than any other race?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
OMG. That surprises me, especially in your field, because it's you are in medical and health. So I would definitely have thought that would have been something that would have been, but you do work with older people too.
Yeah, I work with
So
more older people, so
yeah. So
yeah,
that could be too a lot more the reason why that isn't something that um you had noticed as well. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? That could definitely be that. Um, Another fact. Well, and just to piggyback off that, it's been proven in history that black women die more giving birth. They die more in the pregnancy stages because of the different hormonal treatments that they may be given or prenatal treatments they may be given.
Yeah,
And it's
and
also
just
been, huh? Go ahead.
poverty and health, poverty.
I was just about to say that. So, and then we got the fact that there's a poverty issue. But this particular fact stated that even at similar levels of income and education. So,
Mm.
irregardless of if these people were poor or not, based on the whole situation, it seems that white women were just treated differently or given the more
Yeah,
opportunities
more
than black
yeah,
in this
as
particular.
always.
Correct. So we know that, and that's a given. What else was I about to say about that one? Black Americans are, and this is another one. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to be arrested. Once arrested, they are more likely to be convicted, and once convicted, they are more likely to experience lengthy prison sentences.
Oh, well, we already knew that. We know that one.
So that's another big deal because that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
That's a huge issue.
Cause
And
now you taking, and we know most of it's majority of our black men. So you taking the men from out the household, which you, that's why we dealing with a lot of stuff that we dealing with now when it comes to our kids and what they got going on. No role models. Then they watching these people on these television shows thinking that they role models.
we got a comment and it says prenatal care in Leon County is piss poor.
Mm,
That ain't nothing. That's not something we don't know.
yeah,
Because I mean it's so much going on. It's so much going on in that the racial disparities that are set in place to keep a culture down. So for instance, prenatal care. We poverty situations would say to you, would make a person think this person is going through poverty, this person is impoverished, so they
mm-hmm.
would need a little more care and a little bit more dedication to their health than a person who has
Yeah,
top of the line medical insurance. That would be a given. If you know, if we're in this field and we believe that we're doing what we're doing is saving lives, if our care is really based on compassion and humanity, things would be more different.
it
But
would be.
because all of this is literally based um on personal beliefs and personal racist feelings, things are what where they are.
Yeah, they ain't gonna never change.
Oof, you know, I think what the I think our biggest issue, one of our another bigger issue is that people are so comfortable being in or not comfortable. They're okay
Depending on somebody else, they okay with it.
because
They
it's not
okay with it.
them.
They don't got to worry about it. Just like you said before, when doing the whole election thing, and you was like, "Why are y'all depend? Why are y'all like dependent on these people to save you?" Like even with the stimulus checks, don't get it wrong. You know, we all got ours.
Yep.
We all put some use to it, but people was literally what that's banking on that. Like why?
Why?
But some people they just that poverty mindset. It's some want more, some don't, and it's sad.
We gotta we in which is another reason why I think our significance with touching the youth is way more important than reaching the adults
Yeah.
because the adult mind the mindset of grown people now is really scary. It's unbelievable for us to even think that people can accept the fact that this is the way they feel like it should be.
Hmm. And they find, and that some of them they fine with it.
Very much
This
so.
is, yeah, this is what it is. Nothing ain't gonna change. So, girl, look, I'ma just roll. I'm just roll with it. I'm just in the job being mixed up, and I'm fine with it. I don't care what they do to my children.
As long as they send me that check.
As long as I get my check, I get my stamps every month. Girl, look, I live for free. I'm fine.
So Queen, I'm out of so the US one US study found that job resumes with traditionally white sounding names receive 50% more callbacks. Who you
I
know
believe
now,
that.
now let me tell you something.
I don't.
I straight told my mom the reason why she named me the name that I got is so
The
that
day
I
that you,
never have problems with getting a job.
people think about that. Not
That
everybody.
do you know that that's a racial disparity that we why do we have to sit and think about
I
this
ain't really think
is at
about
our
my
forefront.
children name. Cause look, they probably, Rashad is Rashad, but and his middle name Zion, so they really like this child here. Then he
Black.
got his last name White,
That this a black child right here.
but this a black child. But they may think he Taliban or something cause of Rashard.
Exactly. And that's another thing. Like
You
I just
know,
noticed that I was like, so if we name our children cultural names, we have to worry about them being discriminated against. But even when we put them in why do we got to think about that?
now Queen. Some people need to think about them names they name them kids. Though.
But it's there,
Some,
but it's still their choice.
yeah,
Like
it's still their choice. But some names I just be like, why did you name that baby that?
yeah.
But even with my daughter, like my daughter name, her name is Zoe, and it's spelled Zoie, and
Hmm.
it comes from actually a Greek Bible. Means, and her name means life. But they may see her
I
middle
believe
name, and
that.
then her middle name is I guess you could say a black girl name, Rashanti, and be like, well, who, what?
I would have thought that name had some meaning behind it too, just by of the way it is.
Rashanti. I gotta see if see Zoe got her for her Zoe name. My mom was in school. That's how we got Zoe name. She found it. She was studying or something, but she found it in a Greek Bible.
Hmm.
And her grandmother, her other grandma, her dad's mom, gave her middle name. So they was able to name the first. We let them name the first child.
First grandchild.
Yeah, Rashard. I always liked it. Zion.
Yeah,
Just
that's a pretty.
always liked it that name.
Hmm. That's a nice name.
Yeah, but his
I didn't
dad.
think about that when I was naming my kids, though. Whether or not, I guess I didn't put it at the forefront that they should need to have names that would be accepted in society. I just like I
You
was
liked it, the name.
Jada Pinkett Smith. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if I have a daughter, I'm definitely naming her Jada. And
Mm-hmm.
then Erica's name came from the fact that Greg had a little sister that passed away of crib birth. So we ended up naming Erica after her as a
Gotcha.
as a resemblance name, as a memory. But I didn't even with that, I still didn't think that picking their names was such a big deal to the point where I would have to worry about them making it in this world without, based on their names.
Based on their names, but
Yeah,
it's true though.
it is true.
It is very true. Cause you got Shaniqua Jackson down there, or Shakana Jones, or something like that. They like, oh, this is the little black girl. And you know what? It is crazy because she hit me up some years ago to get her makeup done
Hmm.
for her wedding. And her name was what was her name? And I thought she was a black girl, but she was a white girl. But I can't remember. It was one of them loves though.
Hmm.
One of them LA's on it. And she was like, yeah, I'm a white. I was like, girl, I thought you was black. I did. I told her I thought you was a black girl. But she was like, I get that. She was like, I get it all the time. She said, until people actually see me and they see that I'm white, everybody always think that I'm black.
It's some names that you just gonna automatically feel like that's a black name. It's some names that you're gonna automatically feel like it's just a normal name that could go both ways. And it's some names you're gonna be like, child, that's a white name.
But and I thought it was, and then her last name was Robinson.
Dang.
So it was like, this got to be a black girl. This got to be. I don't know if I ever met a white Robinson.
I have. I actually worked with one before. I thought that was I thought it was weird to see a Robinson, but our most if, depicting of the names, though, a lot of our names slave names anyway.
That's true. That is
So
definitely true.
so that would mostly mean that most of them come from white people anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, that name situation is uh but like you say, you name your kids what you want to name them.
Yeah, whatever you comfortable with, it should be that way. But a
Yeah.
lot of people are having to deal with what we talking about right now, trying to
Yeah.
make sure they name their kids an acceptable name so that they can make it in this world by getting jobs and doing those things that will allow them to be able to manifest in this society. We shouldn't have to do that, but we
I'm
do.
telling you, because you know what you need to really do? Create your own job.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of people are more
Create your own job, your own lane,
worried about what comes
all of that.
down the way.
That's what it's about. Create your own job, your own position for your own self and your family.
Yep. That way you don't got to worry about fitting into no brackets, trying to
None of
decide
that.
how people accept you for who you are, all kind of stuff. It just it pisses me off.
But that's what we're dealing with. That is what we're dealing with. But see, you create your own job, you ain't got to deal with it. You make your own hours, set your own time, hire who you want to hire, come in there with your flip flops and your baller shorts if you want to.
Right.
That's what we need. And we need to push that more when it comes to our kids and this next generation about creating their own lane, creating their own jobs, and creating jobs for the community.
And making sure that there's substantial jobs.
Yes,
Something gonna carry over within the next couple of years. They ain't got to worry about. I mean, something that you can continue to build upon.
continue to be,
So,
yes, most definitely.
and we can do that as a culture, man. If we supported each other a little bit more, it'll be a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Our last fact of the day: in the U.S., Black workers are less likely than white workers to be employed in a job that is consistent with their level of education, and that bothers my spirit so much.
It's funny that you say I was watching um the AME church. That's what they base their leaders on. The leaders of the AME church has to have a college education to be a leader in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that until I was watching the what is the name of, I'm gonna have to send it to you. It was on I think it came on PBS, but it's also another one that's on, and it's talking about the church is talking about the one that I watched yesterday with one of my neighbors is actually just talking about a believer in general. Do you believe? Should you believe? It's I can't think of the name of it, but it was something. It's on Prime. It just got on Prime. And the other one was just talking about the black church period from the time that from slavery up until now. But I did not know that they was like anybody can, from the content on the documentary, anybody can as far as Baptists can start a Baptist church, but the AME church, they put rules in place that you had to have a college degree to be a leader. I was like, wow. And as they say, as I'm watching, I was like, I thought about every AME church I ever been visit and see. I was like, you know what, they do got some prestige people
They
in
like
their church. Now that you think of, I say, but that's why, because of the rules and stuff that they put in. I say, well, I be damned.
it's because of the rules, and sometimes you got to have those type of rules set in place in order for your business to be successful. I
And
mean,
that's what church, a business,
everything is a business, queen.
everything,
That is,
everything.
America is a business.
But I was like, wow. And I just thought about, I was like, oh, Beth, the AME. And I was like, it is, these people are some prestige people. And yeah, okay, I got it. I get it. I get it. But I'm telling y'all, once I'm going to post it, I'm going to go back and see. the names of it, and I'll just post it on the Queen's Movement page, and I'll let you know so we can post it and stuff because it's actually worth watching. And the one that I seen on YouTube is actually a two-part series, and it's worth watching.
I
It's
definitely
very worth watching.
because I want to see that because I like learning about the different different religious aspects and stuff and why they handle things the way they do because it's
Mm,
every religion has a reason why they how they choose their people and the way they
yes,
choose.
yes.
So black on black crime is that a thing? Is there such thing as black on black crime as far as separating it from any other crime? Is there such thing as white on white crime? So with that question being posed, the mindset is that black people kill black people, white people kill
Mhm.
white people, Asians kill Asians, um, Panamanians
Mexicans
kill
kill
Panamanians,
Mexicans, kill Mexicans.
Hispanics kill Hispanics, and on and on and on. So, why has there been an increase amongst black communities with crime? Um, Racist. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It is racist mythology. It's exactly what it is. People have created the black on black crime acronym to pretty much state that black people kill black people, or our crime is bigger than any other crime
Everybody else crime.
in the world. And that's just not true. But because we live in the communities, we know that this violence is going on. We know firsthand that this is a real issue. This is a problem.
Yeah,
What are we doing as a community to limit the violence in the black population? And why is what we're doing not being painted bigger to have more people see what's going on and ways to change versus that being something that's put down to the wayside? Why is there so much investment in things in the community beyond with keeping violence down?
huh. They make money.
Black people, the country has made
They
has
making money off of us. They making money
advanced
off of us,
black people security.
killing each other, everything, 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 everything going on in our community. They making money. We the biggest spenders.
So
Mm.
if if it boils down to black people just not being smart enough to see what's going on, or is it because we just don't care?
I think it could be. It's probably a little bit of both. Cause that go back to what we were saying earlier. Oh, I stay over here. I don't stay over there. So I ain't got to worry. I ain't got to worry about that. But what you do, so you don't stay over there, but your child might be over there hanging out with the kids that stay over there. Your child could be actually the problem,
I was going to
but
say
they
that
don't stay over there.
we okay. So the recent shootings in Basin Street, none of those people who were involved in the shooting or any of the people who were actually harmed in the shooting even lived in the
Live
community.
in the community.
So we're taking violence into communities, even if the communities are already have their own violence themselves. We're bringing extra violence to communities that don't even have anything to do with the community. But not only that, we're talking about children. These were kids.
These kids,
They
kids.
got guns.
It's heartbreaking, man. Especially with you having kids yourself. That's the same age these kids that know these kids.
Know the kids. Know the kids.
Yeah,
And I heard my child saying I heard my child saying the young man that was arrested for the murder, his street name. And I had to tell her, I was like, listen, sweetie, anytime we talking about kids, I don't want to hear no street names.
I want to hear your name.
Because
That's why I had to text you.
I don't even call grown ass men no street names.
What's that government?
Do.
What that birth? I tell people, what your birth certificate say? What's on there? Like, I want to know your name, because I can't. Oh, I'm black. You who?
That's all you got.
So that's who you are. Like, who are you? But it's sad, man. Like, I tell you.
We one of the lacks of understanding is the differentials between ages. We got grown people that are supposed to be raising these kids and setting examples for them, acting like the kids. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen an age group that wanted to go back in time so much than our generation. And I'm not saying it's the majority, but if they see people on Love and Hip Hop acting like them,
Hmm.
they think that's okay.
Yeah.
These grown A women throwing bottles and chairs and all that at each other. And I'm 21, so it must be okay for me because they 40.
Because they 40. 40. So I'm 50. So I'm 50.
Queen, I don't know, man. Like, today I just was in a whole like the for and I know it may have a lot to do with the weather as well, but today I was completely depressed thinking about these children
Yeah.
and how the prisons are emptying out the older generation to welcome in the newer generation. The older generation dying off or they're being released from doing 20, 30 years. Now we bringing in the new generation. And then so we're going to have just as many more in prison as it was before. Then with the other side of it, I don't want to focus too much on this because I ain't talking about gay people today or homosexuals today like that. But then you got the other kids on the outside. So many of them are homosexuals. So they're not creating as many babies as they used to. So
Mm-mm.
we're damning the culture. Between that, you got a lot of lesbians. And then outside of that, you got the young ladies that are having babies. They're not the ones that need to be having no damn babies right now. They're living in the project,
Definitely don't.
low income. We got mamas who ain't mamas, but we having kids and your mama already struggling to feed the kids she already got, but you pregnant and you bring home
Mm.
another mouth to feed. So it's not the kids that's becoming mentally prepared to walk in this life that's getting pregnant. It's the ones who ain't got shit that's creating generational problems, continuous problems.
Continuing problems. Yeah.
What are we doing as a culture to minimize these issues?
Nothing.
It's startling. And I mean, I know
And it's scary.
it's that exactly. And I know, okay, you might touch 20, 30 people here, 20, 30 people there, and you feel good about it. You're happy. You've done a little bit today.
Yeah.
But when you constantly reminded that if another person was touching 20, 30 people and another person was touching 20, 30 people, we'll be touching 100 people before the end of the day. And then
Mm.
and if it's happening like this every day throughout every city, every town, every place, we're saving ourselves. Now all we're doing is pointing fingers, sitting back watching these kids kill each other,
Yeah.
taking more drugs with the kids to get higher so we can not deal with the things that we have to face in life because we'd rather be stoned out of our mind than face
I
the
think
reality.
that's, yeah. Think we drinking and drugging the pain away, but the pain's still there.
And we're
Cause
showing
when you come
it.
down off of all of that, it's still there.
They ain't coming down. They coming down and get right back on. That's the reason they're running to it so they don't have to face it. And then what are we showing our kids that? Because right now they're throwing away their lives at 18 because people ain't paying them back money.
18.
And it is dumber reasons than that. We got a
And
22-year.
look, and this my thing. They ain't paying you back money. How much money? Cause see, don't be telling me just no. I don't even want to hear just $1,000.
It ain't nobody life ain't worth that.
You,
And this
it ain't worth no
these
amount of
kids,
money.
these kid queens, these kids 18, they ain't killing about no $1,000. They probably ain't even touching a whole $1,000 like that. They killing by less than that.
Life gone. Life gone.
It's so many kids in prison right now that ain't
Um,
never gonna see the outside no more, except the outside that's inside the bars.
Cause just like you say, they releasing. And T told me today that they releasing every day. They releasing 10 to 20 some people where he's at, and they getting ready to bring another like 20 some thousand in. So I
The,
say, what they just like you say, they getting rid of the old, bringing in the new.
they got to get rid of the old bodies. The old bodies can't work as hard no more. These young
Mm-mm,
men, that's the
mm-mm.
new. We're never gonna get out of slavery. I mean, and even though these prisons are getting our tax dollars to take care of the inmates, the ones that's getting are doing straight slavery,
Yeah.
building bridges, building new roads, doing all
Sidewalks,
this,
all
and
this
then
stuff.
but you out here, but you want to sell dope on the street and end up in there working for free, but you don't want to work for free, but you don't want to do the little the
You don't
minimum
want to go pick, yeah,
job,
minimum wage or picking up
but you want to
dog
go
poop or
there and get
something like
less than
that.
that. And they feed you rat droppings most of the time. That shit ain't real food half the time. They treat you like animals.
Crap.
And
Nobody.
we're and I don't that's what I don't we had a fear. Like honestly, growing up, dog, we had a fear of jail. That's why they took us on
I
jail
still
tours.
do. Look,
I
I
yeah,
still do. I still do. Like I still, baby, look here. I don't even want the people to be behind me in the car. I'm looking through my man. Look here, don't you? I know you. You already know who I am. You didn't rant that plate several times.
I
And
don't
it's crazy because you shouldn't have to feel like that, but it's just so much. A cop get behind you, you see a cop, and you just like, man, look here, dude, don't be messing with me, because you know they will just mess with you just to mess with you.
but they're doing that because they know that it intimidates you.
Yeah.
So if you show intimidation, when the police get behind me, I don't get scared at all. I have no fear when the police behind me because I know I ain't doing nothing wrong. Now I know that you may bring fear to me because you want to start getting out acting stupid, but I'm not thinking from the moment that just because you behind me that I got something to fear. It's the pulling me over that might start getting my heart to racing.
Mm-hmm.
But you ride behind me, I know how to drive. I know how to do all that. I'm good, and I'm 54. I don't have nothing going on in my car that make me feel like you need to be pulling me. My tag good. I'm good. My name good.
That part.
I barely get tickets. I ain't had a ticket in over 15 years. So it's so many different things that make me realize that if you pull me over, you just fucking with me.
Yeah.
Literally. So now I might get fearful, have some type of fear, my heart beating out his chest. But you got to pull me before it's gonna beat out his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I don't, and cause I teach my kids that don't when the police get behind you, don't let your heart drop in your stomach. Don't do
Keep
that.
running.
You ain't doing nothing wrong unless you speed. And if you are, get your speeding ticket and move on. Yes, sir, no, sir, and get on home for the rest of the night. I said because it's a yes, and that's another thing. These kids don't got no respect. But it's a yes, sir, no, sir mentality with any grown person.
Yeah, that's with anybody. I don't care who you is.
So, and especially with these motherfuckers that's killing us, you definitely better be talking about yes, sir, no, sir, no, sir. So you can go on get in that car and make it on home. But these children that they don't have respect. They talk to their mamas in a kind of way, and it's starting off early.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I see little toddlers right now
Saying stuff to their parents.
saying whatever they want to say to their mamas,
Man,
and
I
they
wish I
record it like
would.
everything's so cute and funny. It's gonna be cute and funny when they grow up spitting in your face and slapping you.
And that's where it started. Or they used to tell them, call her a bitch.
Right.
You don't tell no child to
Hit
call no
them. Hit them.
adult, no, no.
Go over there and hit them.
I tell you quick, your child hit me, I'm gonna hit his back.
And then
So
and then I may be hitting you back.
that too.
Don't be teaching that kid that. It's like, come on, man. And we don't, we're not allowing each other to discipline kids for one. We're
Hmm.
not allowing the village to re-exist. Um, the village has been buried. It has,
It's gone. It's dead. It's
because in a lot of that too is because we don't have communities anymore. We don't have people in the communities caring about community. People come right in their house and don't even speak. They got live in a duplex and don't even speak to their neighbor who might be sitting right outside on their porch.
I can't do that. And I even like growing up, coming to Tallahassee when I did as a kid, I was so used to, I'm from a small town. So I'm used to sitting on the porch speaking to everybody that comes down the street, walks down the street, runs down the street on the bicycle, in the car. And the one in the car might stop and be like, girl, hey, how you doing, sister? Da, 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 and actually pull over in the yard. So coming to Tallahassee and people not even speak, I'm just like this. At that young age, like, man, that's rude.
It's
Because
just
I
it's
was so used to
like
speaking to everybody.
it's this northern city. My sister and them used to think that I used to speak to people because I was scared. Like I don't want nobody to touch me, so I just speak when we walking past them. No, I just thought it was always what you're supposed
Polite.
to do. So if a grown person walking past a kid and a kid speak to you and you don't speak to a kid, what does that say about you? So I know how you feel, Queen. I always felt like people care about somebody enough to open their mouth and pay attention to what's going on. And when I grew up in Appalachian Ridge, every grown person on my street knew the other grown person. If
Yeah.
they ain't even talk to them every day, they knew what kid lived in the house with them.
Hmm.
They knew if them kids did something wrong, who to go report it to. They knew.
Everything. When you was gone out of town, everything. What
They
time you went to
told
work, all of that.
all that.
People paid attention to their neighbors back then.
And
But
this
see,
is
even with like I'm close quarters up on my neighbors, so I don't know them, but I didn't had conversation
mm,
with them. It ain't like when I first moved, because where I say it now, I've been here for 11 years now. And it was a neighborhood full of us, a lot of us. And we had that village. Like those kids out there, it's another adult out there. You need to listen to that adult that's out there, or whoever parent out there with their kids. But even my parents, and I could say I probably get it from them, because every neighbor that they didn't ever had, it probably except maybe two of them, because they was college students, they became friends with.
mm-hmm.
They end up being friends with those people.
I
But
I
it's
I
just
never
not like that in
I,
places.
I never realized how much I miss nosy ass neighbors.
Look, that part.
I
You,
don't.
you ain't got to worry about nobody coming to your door without them, because hey, they ain't home over. My sister, their
Exactly.
mom, God rest her soul.
Exactly.
My sister, their mom, at her funeral, that's what some of her neighbors got up and said. They was like, "Look, Idella will tell you who came to your house, what time they came to your house, and if you ain't home, you out of town. All you need to do is let Idella know she gonna be watching your crib, and
I
anybody step foot in your yard, she gonna say something to them."
I know when I'm old, I'm gonna be sitting on the porch watching everything, unless they done shot the neighborhood up to shit, and I can't even sit on my porch. But
Look, rocket back in that chair.
yeah, I'm gonna be that nosy neighbor watching everything. I promise you, because I'm telling on the kids. I ain't.
See, we,
Even if the community ain't there, I'm gonna be the community.
hmm but it
And we
just
gotta do more of that. It's
we need more. We need more of that. We just need more unity. Period.
and I don't
Because
understand.
communities used to do stuff together. They used to
Yeah,
have little things together, little celebrate, like especially like the 4th of July. You in a nice little neighborhood. Look, what we gonna do? We barbecuing. Y'all come over, and you got some people, neighbors. Matter of fact, to be exact, one of my patients. He lived over there off of North Ride and South Ride off of Thomasville Road. That neighborhood, since I've been working with him the last past 3.5 years, those people over there, something happened, the neighbors coming. My patient wife died. They brought him something to eat every night, each neighbor. They took turns. For 3 weeks, they took turns. If it started off every night the first week, the last 2 weeks, it was every other night. Somebody brought him something to eat.
My I know you might remember Nikesha Thomas, but Nikesha grew up. Her grandmother used to live over there on Mercury Drive. They still have the house over there. But her grandmother passed, and I went over. Because I love their family. So when it happened, this has been a couple years now. When it happened, all you saw was the neighborhood walking to the yard
Mhm.
with stuff, either flowers or plates of food, because this is when you're taking care of the family, because the family is grieving.
Yeah.
People, the family needs to be lifted up at this time. And this is the matriarch of the family that's gone. So when you
Mhm.
lose your queen, it's hard. The rest of the kingdom, like, what we gonna do with our
What
grandma?
we gonna do now?
Because grandma was holding us all together. Families literally fall apart.
They do.
Grandmother leaves. I'm terrified if when it's my grandmother's time, because I know that everybody still comes together because we coming together at her house.
At her house, yeah.
When it's no longer her, you know, people tend to break away. So
And
it's
that's when you got to have somebody. Okay, okay, we know grandma and them gone. So who gonna take this spot that all of us can meet like we was meeting? But nobody might not, cause auntie over here, she act like she bougie. So
mm-hmm.
she don't want nobody at her spot. Uncle over here, he
he,
just
he just everywhere.
he just everywhere. Grandma got somebody that was staying there with her, but now you want to kick this person out because grandma gone now because you want to be greedy and you want to take the house. It's
You
it's
know,
just
that's
it's
black families.
crazy.
And I don't care about other culture families and how they do things, but I hate that black families do not know how to navigate through these situations a little bit easier.
Yeah,
We are very negative in situations like this when people grieving and going through things, because when that person who might have been living with the grandma lose that mama, lose that person, they losing everything too, because they live in there. They know
yeah.
that it's a possibility that they may lose their home or their
Mm-hmm.
bed, because of that particular reason. We have to do better as a culture. That whole epidemic of kicking kids out at 18 needs to come to a
Mm-mm.
halt, because a
Mm-mm.
lot of these kids ain't nowhere near ready to even be in nobody apartment, on their own,
Let me
nothing.
tell you,
These kids don't even know how to, again, say yes ma'am, no ma'am, but we're gonna put them out there in the world.
my two stepdaughters, 20 and I want to say 18 or 19. I can't recall. Well, if one 20, that means the other one finna be 19. They live on their own. I think it's crazy because I got the two that's mine here, and we just like, baby, I was still at home at my parents' house when I finally moved from my mom's house. I probably was 20, maybe 22, 23, 23. I was 23 because I had Rashad at 24, I think. Yeah, so 23. But I was just thinking to myself today, like saying to myself, dang, I've been in this place where I'm at now, at my house now, for 11 years. I know it's time for us to actually leave and go, and it's time for us to have our own. And I was like, man, I'm so happy that my kids gonna be able to experience, once we buy this house, that they'll be able to actually experience, and they would feel like that is their home too, because they still living at home. Even though Rashard in high school, but he already said he leaving. He said he going. I was like, child, please go. You can now if you go to somewhere
And
out of town, yeah. But I told my kids, long as you here in town, there's no need for
no
you to
need
be
to
talking
get no
about going to
place.
get no apartment.
I mean that. Because I
I
know
don't need
Jada.
you to get no apartment because really I want to set you up that your financial future will be so better than mine's that when you leave out my house and you graduate from college or start your business or whatever you decide to do, but you got to do something, you will be at least somewhat comfortable enough that you can go buy you need to leave out my house purchasing you a home actually like
Leave out my
that's
house. I need to
my
go be purchasing a house.
yeah, that's my goal. Like when you leave, it don't got to be no 4, 5 bedroom house, but maybe a little
Start
duplex.
off, start off with something small.
Yeah, maybe a little a duplex, a townhouse, something that at age 25 you can actually say that is yours.
It'd be better. I just want everything about, especially when it comes to stuff like that, that financial responsibility.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to walk away from a home that we prepared for them, because we're trying to get them to that level that when they leave
Mm-hmm.
out the house, they walk into their own, because now you ain't paying rent, you paying
Mm-mm. Yeah,
mortgage.
mortgage.
But and if you want to rent out your other room, you can rent out your other room, and that can pay half of your mortgage or the majority of your mortgage. Put them in a place of financial freedom, because we need that. Um, and that limits so much of this cultural violence, because
Mm-hmm.
when you got a lot of stuff going on personally and financially that's stressing you out, it leads you to some other type of place, and that leads young men into trying to make quick fast money, because they're not shown that it's okay to have a job or it's okay to run a business. They just shown that they need to make quick money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much pressure being put on males in society about bringing home the money, and women in society about making sure that everything is taken care of. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
it being an equal balance of, we're going to do this together, we're going to grow together, manifest together. And it's going to come from where we came from in a positive thing, not because we're trying to live out here off survival.
Yeah. And I got a homeboy that want to start his own business. And I'm like, you scared to start the you scared to step out there and start the business, but you ain't scared to be out there hustling.
That's what I'm saying. It don't make
I'm,
sense.
I'm like, like, I'm like, help me. I had to help me understand this now. You scared. You got the information that you need. You got the license that you need as well. Help me understand. You scared to step out there, and you got the money to start it, but you scared to step out there and go ahead and start it. But you ain't scared to be out here hustling. Come on, come on. Cause you got kids too, so they need to. I tell your kids need to see you as well. Cause you can't say nothing to these kids when they ain't doing what they supposed to do, cause they didn't watch you.
You not do what they supposed to. And
You
that
not.
a lot of kids don't a lot of that a lot of kids don't think that a lot of kids don't know the process, because we're not giving them the process.
That.
Like the reason why I think I get upset about certain things with my children is because they got a blueprint.
Oh, come on now.
If I
My
have
sister. That's
laid
how my sister is
if I
with
have
her
laid
oldest
out
boys.
the blueprint for you, the blueprint is dead in your face, but because you don't want to take the road less traveled to get to the other side, you want to go down this road thinking it's easier. You want to go up this way because that might be a shortcut. And it's going to bring you back over here maybe 10 years later, instead of you just taking that road that I already laid out for you, because you want to create your own lane. And I have told my children, I do not mind you creating and doing things that you want to do.
Hmm.
But if you make life harder for you and you already got a map, you're going to be just as part of a broken generation as
Yeah,
everybody else. And I
they
mean
were.
that, because I came from a broken generation. I'm not trying to put you back in the same concepts that I did. I have given you this. You want to turn left, and I done told you to go right.
Yep.
Don't be that child that makes life harder for themselves. That's scary to them when I say stuff like that. They be like, I ain't going that way, Mom. I know. You better pay attention. And I
Take
do
it.
agree. I do agree. I do think that a lot of people are terrified of the paperwork to start that business because they don't
Hmm.
think that they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
They don't think that they feel like, oh, it's too much this to do. Is I got to report these taxes. I got to do this. I got to do that. Man, everything is a process.
Everything.
But once you start doing it and you're doing it on a regular basis, that becomes a norm to you. Now you ain't like even worried about if you gotta do it. Now you know you gotta do this
You
to
know
get
you got to
money
do
right
it.
here. You gotta do this to apply for this grant. You gotta do this. And it's so like this.
And it's out there. Like I always, it's people literally out here that we have not even come in contact with. All of us, from me and you to the listening audience, everybody that's out here
Waiting on us.
waiting on us. They waiting on to help us. They waiting on us to tell our story so they can move on with their story.
Yep.
All of that. Waiting on us to help them to get the information that they need from us, that we need from them. Like it's people we don't know them, but they wait. You gonna meet them if
Yep.
you do what you if you follow that plan, like you say, that blueprint. But it is people literally out here, and we have to stop being so scared to ask for help.
And not and especially to people who already done walked that road.
Yeah.
It's roads less traveled, but it's also roads that have been traveled many times. No need to be fearful of taking that step to see where you're going to end up. I got so many things that I'm working on now. And I think what's starting to eat me alive is that I can't do it all at one time. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm finally at this point where I can start to implement these things in my life or in my walk. But now now I gotta now my goal is to make sure I'm doing it in an organized manner, not
Mm-hmm.
just doing this the way I used to. Because being raised on survival will make you do some things that you ain't used to
You
do
ain't, yeah. You
because you
just
just trying to get it out here. You just trying to get it. So it was
mm-hmm.
several blueprint. It was times when I had models in front of me that I needed to follow, but
But you didn't.
those models was gonna take too long.
What? This taking too long. I ain't got
Take way
time.
too long. These kids need milk tomorrow. What I could do today.
But just
So
like
I
you say,
jump out there and
you
start
didn't
selling
gave
some
you give
lunches.
it to them.
Or I jump out there and do this to make quick money to make sure we're sustained for a day. When in actuality, I need to be making sure that we're sustained for a month, making sure that we're sustained for 3 months. Make so growth
A
does that,
year and on and on and on and
and
on.
on and
A
on and on.
lifetime.
And the only way I can get out of that is as me culturally, as for me to for us to stop stomping ourselves as a culture and holding each other back and making sure that all those foundated marks that we have went through ourselves are laying out there for somebody else to go through
Mm-hmm.
without it being so hard for them.
And
We don't
making
want
people
to share
accountable.
anything. We don't want to give out information. We want to charge for every damn thing.
Everything, everything, everything,
These kids
everything.
have now figured it out for themselves that if it ain't about money, it don't make sense. And that's why they done got to the where they are with the hairstylist, where you don't come with your hair washed, you can't get your hair done. But they
Look,
charging you $200 more than it costs for a normal style that you get.
now,
Because it's all
and
about
we was
money.
taught to watch. We was taught to shampoo hair in school.
No,
that,
are they
that's
still
that's what that's your main base. That is why people go to the salon
to get treated by a
to
salon?
get treated
You
by the
want to be
salon
treated.
and the experience. And you know, I get it. I get it. I do. I get why some of the stylists do. I get it. Cause like me up in the at the boutique, I don't have a shampoo bowl because of the area, the place that I'm in. But now I don't even have to say. I don't like to say don't come with no wash, but I have to tell people, well, I don't have a shampoo bowl, but you come with your hair already shampooed, or I can give you a choice. I can come to you. I can go mobile and come to you, and I can shampoo your hair with my portable bowl. So I give you a
But
choice.
do you but will are you charging more to shampoo?
No,
because
And they
that's
do
what
charging. They're charging. And if I'm like, if you're not shampooing, you should not be charging people some of the prices that they are charging
the
people.
whole point of going to the salon back then was so because you knew you was gonna be there for 5 hours.
And you was gonna get a good shampoo and condition.
Shampoo, condition, your hair finna be good, your scalp finna be so clean. You
Something that
and,
that and you ain't have to do
it was
that work.
cheaper, and the services was cheaper.
You getting look, you spend and people spending a lot of money and getting very bad customer service.
My baby got
Horrible customer
this little
service.
frontal put on her head. I hate frontals. My baby got this frontal put on her head Saturday. It's already lifted. No, no over $100 for the hairdo. It's
Child.
ridiculous. And so they're these kids are taught the easy way out. That's why they always looking for easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they feel like killing each other is going to limit that make them get credit in the street. Um, because they're looking for an easy way out. They're looking to become the man by killing somebody. The fuck
They
you killing
15 minutes of fame.
15 minutes of fame. You killing somebody and you ain't get and you going to prison for the rest of your life. And then they already don't care about you killing each other because it's just a black life. That's so
Yeah,
and
that's another one gone off the streets.
and for everybody that and for all these Black Lives Matter people, I don't
Child.
care. Y'all, I don't want. I've been said that though. I've been was one of those people that said I don't want to hear nothing. Y'all want to chant about Black Lives Matter when it comes to white people killing black people. Do it matter
Mm-hmm.
when we killing each other?
We killing ourselves.
What matter then? Because half of y'all that saying Black Lives Matter got kids out here in gangs, ready to pop off the next kid. So I don't want to hear shit about no Black Lives Matter until you making a difference in a child life or you making sure your kid ain't finna kill another person kid. Cause that's what matters to me. Those Black lives matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
We can't fight the war on racism if we don't fix the war in our
Fix the
own
war in
community.
our own community.
We can't tell white people and honestly, the cops, this something they've been doing since they've been what they were slave patrol.
Yeah.
So stop acting like this shit new.
There ain't nothing new about that now. And they ain't gonna stop.
But it's getting worse with us. It's getting worse with us killing each other though. It ain't nothing new that they've been doing this, but we're continuing to spread the epidemic of killing each other. Yes, yes, black on black crime is a racist mythology. But
Yeah.
when you live in the community and you see this going on, that's factual.
Mm-hmm.
We have to change our surroundings. We have to stop making these kids feel like they have to be raised off survival and start giving them some damn love. These kids need attention. These kids need people to tell them that they are doing the wrong thing. These
Yeah.
kids need to be told right from wrong.
Got to
These
make them
need to be
accountable.
held accountable for what they do wrong. These kids need to learn respect.
They because they sure don't got no respect for nobody. They don't even got respect for their own selves.
So we can't think they're gonna have respect for these teachers who they going to sit up with. They damn sure ain't got no respect for these teachers. They don't
And
got
especially,
no respect.
and a lot of them, if we talk about going on like the high school level, you got teachers that's coming in there that's 22 years
That's
old. That
they
that's
talk to you like you talking to them.
yeah, because and if you think about it, if you a senior in high school, that is you 18, 17, 18, they 22 years old. That's still considered your peers.
But
This was somebody that probably was.
even if it's considered your peers, we
It's
knew
still,
that.
you still need the respect.
We knew that Miss Williams and Miss Artley wasn't no that much older than us at Rutgers. We knew this. Them teachers, we 16, 17, but they in their 20s. We know this. But
Yeah.
you think they played with us? You think that Miss Hill, you think that Miss Hill ain't say, get out my class, go to the front office, you finna get a referral? You think Miss Williams ain't say that? You
Mm-hmm.
think Gary, that's still out there right now, them ain't ride around in them carts, ain't get us tell us if we here and get to class, we get a referral? These kids not talk. Man, hush, Gary. Shut up, Gary. Don't say nothing to me, Gary.
And then sometimes that have a lot to do with their parents too, because their parents then told them about
They told them he
Mr. Gary or somebody like, girl, he was,
lack
you
of
know what I'm
respect.
saying?
They was there when I was there. You ain't gotta mind them.
Yeah, that part.
Violence is in our community terribly, but a lot of that stuff that creates the violence is rage, the lack of mothers and fathers being their friends, and
Yeah,
nobody in the house making them be accountable for the things, because accountability is so big now. If we can't get our kids to accept what they're doing wrong at in the house, man, they don't give a damn about
they
doing
ain't
wrong
gonna
in
do.
the world.
No, nowhere, no respect.
It gotta change, Queen. We gotta do more. I know we doing. I know we only can do so much in our areas, but it got to be somewhere where we can
Yeah,
touch people more, get out the word of saving lives more. Instead of kids thinking it's lame to be alive and free, they need to know that that's a blessing. Everybody don't have it. Y'all got people. Y'all got friends that's slain at y'all age. Last little boy,
very.
the little boy Josh that was murdered up there at the church, Bethel AME Church, killed on church grounds on a live video last year. We got we got a murder every 2 weeks. I swear to God, it's going on. And don't think that because every time the news shows a black murder, that it ain't a white murder going on in the next neighborhood.
Yeah,
Don't,
they just ain't reporting it.
it's just not being reported. Just
That's
like
all it is.
police killing black people, police kill white people. It's just not being reported. It's easier to get us more emotional than it is to get the white people emotional. White people
Yeah,
know
'cause
they
we already there. We
like we
already
know
there.
we know we gonna die by dumb shit we do too. But white people
Hmm.
already expect, oh, they finna kill Bill ass. He out there hanging from that damn gate shooting at them people. They finna shoot Bill ass down. They know it. We act surprised about a lot of shit though. Like we don't know that some of the shit that we doing out here dead ass damn wrong.
It's
So
crazy,
stop
man.
getting. You got to stop watching the news to let it play on your emotions and just use it for what is there to be reported. And that's
Yes.
why I don't turn it on like that because I'm not about to sit
No,
and watch
I
that.
can't watch it, and especially especially even the local news. I really don't.
Mm-mm.
I can't watch it.
But I
And I
say
don't
that.
know how I found out about the whole Basin Street thing. I heard about it, but just being on social media and somebody posted saying that they made the arrest, and that's how I found out about that. And to know the kid that they made the arrest, it's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Cause my 16-year old looked up to that kid. But my 16-year-old, when he met that kid wasn't in the
We're
type
doing
of stuff that
things
he was in then, that
right,
he got going on now.
right.
So it's a difference.
But but guess what though? It was leading up to things because that
Yeah.
stuff don't happen overnight. And
Mm-mm.
when you ain't got
Mm-mm.
a whole lot of male influences that's positive in your life, the road is
That's
very thin for
heartbreaking.
you. A lot of kids use, and instead of me, see, I use my lack of to make me want more. A
Yeah.
lot of kids don't look at it like that. They blame they lack of on why they ain't
Why
got
they
nothing
doing what they're doing?
and
Yeah.
why they doing what they doing. I need my lack of to be more of a reason for why I'm going to go harder.
That part there.
We got to do better.
You got to want more. You got to. But then you got, and if the parent, well, I can't even get on some of the parents. Because, like you said, a lot of you got parents out here that's young, that's some my age, some younger than me, and they out here being partying with their children. I ain't finna go no, so I ain't finna go nowhere with me partying.
Girl, no way. That's because I mean, some of us still old school parents though. Like our upbringing is definitely very similar to a lot of the things we were raised. A lot of these kids, a lot of parents that are our age, they blame their parents for why they messed up out here. So they dropped a lot of what they was taught because they felt like they was taught wrong. Nah,
Mm-mm.
I know my mama. I know my mama ain't know everything, but I know my mama did the best she can, and I was raised off survival.
That part there.
So even with me being raised off survival, I didn't allow the things that my mama couldn't do. And me being the oldest, I was the one that didn't get what I was supposed to get. Because I'm the
Hmm.
oldest. I was the one that was told you can go without because the younger ones need it.
The younger ones need.
So my acceptance of knowing where I am started a long time ago. I knew growing up that I have to be held to a higher standard because people are dependent on me
Hmm. And they watching you.
and they watching me. I've always taken my role as the big sister, as the oldest grandchild, the oldest, the first grandchild to
You just
have
like
a
your
kid,
first everything
the
for your
first
family.
grandchild to produce the great grandchild, everything. It's a whole reason for why I'm in this field that I'm in, where I am. I'm here
Hmm.
for a reason. I don't take it lightly. But if we don't take
Mm.
responsibility in how we bring our kids up, our kids are never going to be able to take responsibility for why they fucking up their lives.
I'm telling you,
We gotta be the we. If I'm accountable, they gotta be
they
accountable.
got to be
You gotta be
accountable.
accountable. You gotta be accountable. Everybody gotta know that they got this is your responsibility.
This your
This
yep.
is your thing. This is for you to remember. This is for you to do.
My kid's grandma, she always said that you got to make sure you got to have structure for those kids. Because if you don't have structure for them and make them accountable, the older they get, everything they do, if they ain't where they want to be in life, they're going to blame you as the parent. It's your fault that I ain't doing this. It's your fault that I didn't do this. It's your fault that I'm this way. It's your fault. They blame, 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 blame,
They
blame.
doing that now for real. They doing
Yeah.
that for real. Like our kids going through that in these because my daughter was telling me that she was like, Mom, a lot of these kids don't even like they don't even talk to their mamas. They don't even do this, they don't even do that because they don't feel comfortable enough doing this. That's the
I tell
foundation
my
that
all
was
the
laid
time,
out for them, y'all, and that's sad.
you better come say something to me.
And I
Cause
tell my kids that all the time, y'all. And I tell them to tell them other kids too. If they don't got nobody that come to y'all, know they can come to us, right?
mm-hmm.
Man, they
Come
ain't
holler at
over
me.
here. They scared that somebody gonna say something. They already know y'all ain't gonna say nothing. We don't even play that. You bring
Mm-mm.
somebody to me to come talk to me or help, that shit ain't leaving our house.
Cause it ain't nobody else concerned.
My kids used to be the children that, especially when Erica was in middle school, come home. Mom, I'm finna box up all me and Jada old shoes and clean them up and take them to school tomorrow. What you finna take all them stuff? I gotta put that in my giveaway bag. What you finna go do it with it at school? Well, it's a kid at the school, he ain't got no shoes, Mom. His shoes flapping. Him and his sister. I said, well, y'all sure they can fit these shoes? Because do we need to go get the little boy some shoes? Or is little girl, because that's concern. My children saw what we were doing in the communities and
Mm-hmm.
decided that, we may not be, we can't do as much as our parents, but
We can do something.
do
We
something.
can take initiative and do something. Something.
It got to fall from the tree and it got to fall in a positive aspect. If you drop it,
Mm-hmm.
if everything
You
you
can't
drop,
drop and roll now. It can drop and roll, but when it drop and roll, it need to drop and roll just like you say in a positive way. I always told my kids, let me tell you something. You don't be no follower. You be the leader. But one thing I say about you being the leader, you better lead somebody in the right damn way.
that's right.
Don't be leading people down somewhere that you won't go.
No damn destruction.
That part. So if
Well,
you're gonna be the leader, you lead right. You
that's
lead
right.
by example. And if them fools that's your friends, and I say, yeah, your friends, they fools because you're cheering and y'all do be acting like fools.
Mm-hmm.
You better tell them fools, look here, man, look, my life and my freedom is more important. My mama kicked my ass. And matter of fact, let me go on the other way. Call me dumb, call me stupid, call me scared,
Yep.
all you want to do. But guess what? Baby, look here. I'm gonna be able to live this life that I got here on this earth. And you go do that stupid shit by yourself and go on about your business. You might lose a friend that day, but you know what? It's best that you lose a
You gain
friend than
more,
lose your
but you
life.
gain more respect for yourself because you was able to make a decision that was beneficial to you. Because I always tell my kids this: what I know I'm raising you right is when you put in a situation. and you say, and you take what you've been taught and use it in that situation
That part.
to get you to make sure you make it home safely. That's when I believe that what I'm
Mm-hmm.
work doing for you works.
That part.
Just because you wake up every day and go to school on time and you dress nicely and you eat good food, I don't, that shit don't make me feel like I'm a great parent. That's providing. That's what I'm
That's
supposed to
what
do.
I'm supposed to do.
It's the what you doing with yourself that make me feel good about myself.
Hmm. What
I'm
you are.
gonna provide, but if all I do is provide, come home, go in my room, don't do no teaching, shut y'all out my life, and do, but get up the next day and keep doing the same thing over again, that ain't no damn parenting.
Mm-mm.
So y'all, my kid, sometimes they say it's hard to deal with me because I've heard that my face say things that my mouth don't say.
Hell yeah. I think all them kids like to say that about us, to us tough parents.
I don't even care. It don't even hurt my feelings. I said you could try to say whatever you want because you want to try to make me feel bad about the lesson I gave you. But that don't change the lesson. And I don't care if I
Nope.
deliver it with a smile or a frown, the lesson is the same lesson. Now, if you don't like the way it was delivered, we
That's
can
your problem.
change my delivery based on how it was brought to me.
Yeah.
Cause certain responses gonna come from me the way you presented it to me. I always go back to the Bill Cosby episode where Vanessa, and after that we're gonna close down the show after this, y'all. But where Vanessa brought home her husband to meet her,
Oh, the older
and
guy.
and Bill Cosby when he took that trash can lid and said, "I done got a steak dinner with a nice crisp potato cooked up for me with some fresh green beans on the side." And she put it on this delicious meal and she put it on top of this trash can lid. That's how you was presented to us today.
I remember that episode too. That
You
was a good
presented to
episode.
us served on no plate. So
On the
we
fresh
can't come
egg.
here and just accept you for who you are because of the way you were presented to us. If our daughter wanted us to have more respect for this situation, she would have done it more differently. You
Yeah.
too included.
Yeah.
So don't come to me with no shitty presentation and think that you deserve A+ treatment.
Mm.
Because I always think about that. Anytime somebody brings something to me, how you present it to me is going to be how it's redelivered to you. I swear to God. Queen, what's your closing words for today?
Y'all already know, man. Stay positive. Get on them affirmations. Let me tell you something. The I am affirmation speak. It speaks to you. It speaks to you. I don't know who out here follow me, but I just was listening to a apostle that I know, and she was just like, "Look, you need to say every day for the next 7 days, and just see how your life changes." I'm telling you, words is so powerful, y'all. Like, is words are powerful, powerful. So I am great, I am beautiful, I am walking, I am flowing. All of that, you need to be saying all of that, and just put that I am in front of it
And
and watch how stuff start manifesting for you. I'm telling you, the I ams is something. Make your own. I made my own. I got one that I didn't say. I need to get back and actually start reading it again. I be reading everything else, but that I am is powerful. That is them two little words. I am is powerful words because you speaking directly to yourself when you say I am, or just put your name in there. Candace. I'm da 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 da. But man, stay positive, people. Stay safe. Continue to wear your mask. I don't care if you have got your 2 COVID shots. I don't care. Vaccination, whatever you want to call it. Still wear your mask, people, because I ain't got one yet. So, I'm still debating. But that's my, even though I'm in the nursing field, but that's my opinion. and and this is my life. And the household that I live in, they ain't got one either. And they my churn. So when we decide that we won't to do one, we gonna do one. But I'm not gonna do one because everybody else around here saying this is what you need to do. Even when it comes down to my patients, I had to tell their family members, you can't make me get it. Now, you either want my services to come in this house still, or I can go get me another contract and cancel yours. What you want?
I mean,
But I'm not gonna get
that's a
one because you
that's a
want me
personal
to have
choice. And I don't even believe they're gonna be able to take it as far as making it mandatory for travel.
it. Mm-mm.
Because there's too many international places coming into and out this country. You're not gonna be able to determine if people that come off international flights got these shots and all that. I don't believe they can. If they do make it a mandatory thing for travel, it can't happen up front like that. I think it's gonna
Mm-mm.
take some time. But to piggyback off Queen's um closing message, I just want to say that with the I am affirmation, continue to tell yourself positive things so that you can continue to manifest positive um
Most
so you can
definitely.
have positive outcomes, because we can, as long when you're telling yourself who you are, make sure you're
Mm-hmm.
also telling yourself what you can do, because we limit so many things based on fears. We're terrified to take a step forward just because we're afraid that it might knock us 5 steps back. You got
Mm-hmm.
to take a chance on you. If nobody else shows up for you, you show up for
You
you.
show up.
You show up for you. That's all we have for y'all today. Grab those tickets for the brunch conversations with SW podcast on May 29th from 11:30 to 3. It's
It's
going to
gonna
be
be
great.
good, y'all.
Gonna be
It's gonna
so
be
good,
good.
y'all. So, 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 so good. If you don't have tickets, go get you one. Gift the ticket to somebody. Limited spots. Just make sure you
Buy
get
somebody a
it.
ticket. If you buy you one, buy two.
Buy two. Support the
Bring a
tacos.
friend.
Appreciate y'all.
And it ain't just for me. It is not just for women. It's for
No,
hey,
no.
we co-ed this thing.
Yes, you can come with your couple, come with your husband, come with your wife, come with your girlfriend, come with your ex-boyfriend. Bring
Whoever.
somebody that you want
We
to
don't
see
care.
what's going on, because they can see and learn some things in areas where you felt like they fell short. So come on out. Have a good time with us. We'll see you out in Twin Oaks, in Southwood on May 29th for our brunch conversations with SW Podcast. We are too excited to host this event and be
Gonna be
there, and be a
good.
part of this event with you all. We have more details coming soon for that. We will be doing some raffles for the tickets as well within the coming weeks. So make sure you pay attention. And in order to win the raffle, you definitely got to be tuned
Got to
in
be
to the
tuned
show.
in.
So we will catch y'all next week when it's Freestyle Wednesday, and talk to y'all then. I think we got our open forum guest back here again, because he trying to get back on here, child. You know it.
Well, you gonna need him because out of town
Oh yeah, you
that
are.
Wednesday.
That's
Yeah.
That's next week. So we gotta we're gonna yeah. So we look forward to that. And then the week of the actual event, we'll have Mr. Oliver Mitchell, the comedian, that will be on the
It's
show
gonna be
at the
great.
brunch that day to kind of come on, talk to y'all, and get a feel for who he gonna be dealing with that day. So y'all gonna make him feel welcome, right? We're gonna make him feel welcome, right? Okay.
Yes.
So thank
Yes.
y'all for tuning in. As always, we like you, we love you, we appreciate you, we celebrate you. We always want to make sure that our guests feel welcome and wanted anytime you in our studio. We appreciate y'all. Tune in next Wednesday. Peace.
Bye.